So apparently, Christian Horner was offered the position at Ferrari after their 2022 collapse and failure to win not only the Drivers' Championship with Charles Leclerc, but the Constructors' Championship after a myriad of errors essentially sunk their hopes of ever getting that achieved. And Christian Horner was offered the seat at Ferrari and was going to take it after the 2022 season until Helmut Marko stepped in with Red Bull and offered him multiple millions of dollars more to stay with him. And it's kind of interesting to see because I always thought that Christian Horner was so dedicated to Red Bull and he saw Ferrari as such, just a lackluster team that never has any organization. But maybe it's this type of thing where he had won the Drivers' Championship with Max after overcoming Mercedes all those years, and he had won the Constructors' Championship and all but dominated the 2022 season with Perez and Max. So maybe he thought that, like many people who are older in the Formula One space, that Ferrari is almost like the Yankees when it comes to baseball in America. It's this storied career and history about them, and people want to win with Ferrari. Vettel tried to do what Schumacher did, and no one's really been able to do anything with Ferrari since Kimi left in 2007. So it was crazy to hear that Christian Horner was literally about to leave. Helmut Marko said he had to take one whole day more to convince him, shell out tons of millions of dollars more, which they're reporting is $12 million annually that they're paying Christian Horner. But it's kind of crazy to think because Ferrari is one of those teams that I think Christian Horner could fix if they were to allow it to be fixed. Ferrari is a very fickle institution. And a lot of people think that, why don't they just care about winning and just let people come in and change things? This is a guard. This is almost like the Catholic Church. It's run the way it's run. Now, can it be run better? Can it be changed to win championships? Yeah, but there's been people in place and there's a culture and there's kind of this history of what they've always done, and they're not going to let you come in. Think about all of the team principals that have come in the last 16 years since Kimi won the championship. You've had so many people come in and try and institute their policies. The last person who really had everything together was Jean Todt, who became the president of the FIA. He had a great relationship with Luca de Montezemolo and all the people at Ferrari, and he politically knew how to go about things. I don't think other team principals are as political and masterful from a diplomatic point of view, and they come to the team with their knowledge of sports racing and everything, open wheel racing and Formula One, and they just try and institute that. It's a very, very political organization. You cannot offend somebody. You can't do something that's not been done for a long time, and that will always be part of Ferrari. And it's kind of interesting because Christian Horner essentially came to Red Bull, and it's important to have that relationship with like a Helmut Marko and a Dieter Mateschitz, who was the owner of Red Bull at the time, since passed. When you have that dynamic, those three people, and you're all generals, sergeants, different prime ministers of each division, it works that way. But Ferrari is such a weird top-down organization. You're seeing how hard it's even been for the new team principal at Ferrari, and how difficult it's just been for every single person there. So it's interesting to see that he wanted to go there, win it. I think he wanted to be reminiscent of Michael. If you can bring the glory back to Ferrari, people remember you forever. I know there are important guys like Toto Wolff with Mercedes. There's been Flavio Briatore with Renault and stuff. People are cemented in history like Jean Todt when they can come to Ferrari and win with Ferrari. It's just something that will always be on your resume. You'll always be respected, and you'll be looked upon by probably the most globally recognized sports car brand luxury in the world. And with a team and country and fanship behind it, I mean, you go to any single Grand Prix, there are people in the stands wearing Ferrari everywhere. I know people have changed with the whole idea. They see how many fans there are for Max and the Orange Army. Yeah, there has been a cult following with Max, and that's been rare because the last time you really saw that was with Michael. Even when Vettel and Hamilton were at their heights, they just didn't have that appreciation and love. But trust me, every track you go to, you're easily will see. You just saw it in the Spanish Grand Prix. Tons of people wearing Ferrari. People support Ferrari. It is the Dallas Cowboys. It is Manchester United. It is the New York Yankees. It is Real Madrid, Barcelona, all that stuff. So I'd say the correct decision, and maybe a part of his ego wants him to say, maybe I could. It is me. I am the best team principal. I can go to Ferrari after 4 or 5 team principals who've essentially not accomplished, which is the number one goal, to get a championship, not only for the team, but for a driver. If I can do it at Ferrari, I will become a legend in the sport in terms of team principals and people who can show up to Formula One teams and make them into winning organizations when they are not. And I'm thinking he made the right decision because you see the way Ferrari is. And maybe, I mean, he has the contract till 2026. Will you see him change to Ferrari? I think within that time they definitely won't have either one of those types of championships occur. And will he leave after a dominant couple of years with Max? If this continues, does he keep dominating with Max? If Max is now 4 or 5 championships in a row and they are just constantly winning, there's no reason to leave. But he's definitely an interesting guy. Christian Horner is very different than Toto Wolff, that he likes challenge. It's not all about political. He thinks he has the best racing mind, and it's not just a business or political thing. He thinks he's the greatest mind when it comes to racing today. And if you look at the results, and you can add Adrian Newey into that too, he pretty much is.